And breaking right now, the man who wedged himself in a pipe to protest Enbridge is now out. We told you just a few minutes ago, and now we're going live to 24-hour News 8 Steve Kelso, who's been on the scene all day near Marshall. Steve, do we know how this unusual protest wrapped up today?
Yeah, we've got a little bit more on that. We're going to get to that in a second, but let me bring you up to date here. 35-year-old Chris Wahnoff, staging a protest against Enbridge, like you said, wandered in this area about 7 a.m., got himself down into that pipe, and was refusing to come out. Now, for answers to your questions, joining me is Sheriff Matt Saxton with the Calhoun County Sheriff's Department. This thing ended just a few moments ago. What can you tell me about the arrest or taking him into custody? How would you characterize it?
Well, the protester, Chris, came out at 5 o'clock. As he stated this morning, he would come out on his own at 5 o'clock. His demeanor was calm. He was fine when he came out. His health appeared to be okay. We did take him to the local hospital to get his health checked out prior to taking him to jail this afternoon.
And he'll be booked into the Calhoun County Jail. Any word on charges, what you'll be charging him with?
We're still having conversations with the prosecutor's office to see what charges he's willing to move forward with.
What about any damage to the pipe? Could he have damaged it either purposely or unintentionally while he was in there?
At this point, he didn't come out with any tools or anything that appear that he could have damaged the pipe with. However, right now we have a sewer camera going down the pipe to make sure he didn't leave anything in there. And then Enbridge will, over the next day or so, check the whole length of the pipe to make sure nothing was left in there and make sure there was no damage to the pipe while he was in there.
Absolutely certain he was in there alone?
And that's another reason the camera went down there, to make sure there was not a second person in there with him. At this point, it doesn't appear so. The sound inside that pipe travels so far that the only voice and movement and everything we heard was his all day long. So doesn't appear there is, but we're doing every precaution to make sure there is not a second person in there.
He sure tied up an awful lot of all y'all's officers out here today. What can you tell me? How many folks were out here? You had horse mounted?
Well, we're lucky to have our mounted unit out here this afternoon. They're all volunteers. They came out to assist at the 5 o'clock time with the other protesters here. We were concerned that they might make a rush to be back to the pipe when Chris came out of the pipe. The rest of the officers out here were on duty staff, and we
all right, very good.
Sure everything was safe.
All right, Sheriff Matt Saxton, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Coming up tonight at 6, we're going to give you a whole lot better idea how this all started and how this all progressed throughout the afternoon. Right now, live in Marshall, Steve Kelso, 24-hour News 8.